Coverage of breaking news, a serious situation on Sullivan's Island. Authorities on Sullivan's Island have issued a shelter in place as they are actively in pursuit of a person who is armed and dangerous. You are taking a live look at Breach Inlet on Sullivan's Island, where dozens of units are on the scene. Officials tell News 2 a suspect hit several people with a car, including at least 2 children and an adult. This happened near Sunrise Presbyterian Church at around noon. The driver of the car left the scene. He was driving a sedan. 2 children and 1 adult again were hit. The adult and a child were taken to the hospital. A child was treated at the scene and released. We are told the suspect was wearing a red shirt and dark colored shorts. He was armed with a knife at the time, according to witnesses. The person is described as a heavy-set white male, balding with facial hair. He was last seen on foot near Jasper Boulevard between Station 30 and 32. Again, authorities on Sullivan's Island have issued a shelter in place. They are asking the public not to approach the person if you see him. There is a checkpoint on the Ben Sawyer Bridge. There are also law enforcement drones being deployed in the area. Again, police are asking everyone to be on alert, not to approach the suspect, and to shelter in place. If you see the person as we've described, please contact your local police authorities immediately. But again, do not approach the person. He is considered dangerous and armed. We want to go live now to News 2's Emma Charles, who just arrived at the scene just a few minutes ago. Emma, there was a briefing earlier, and we know that you've been able to speak with authorities. What is the latest?
That's right, Carol, and we're following breaking news out of Sullivan's Island right now. There is still an active search ongoing for an armed suspect. I'm here with Sergeant Matt Storin. Sergeant, what can you tell us so far?
Yes, so actively there is a search for a white male wearing a red shirt, shorts, unknown color. He was reported to be bald and has a beard. He was seen with a knife, and he fled on foot from the area of Jasper and Middle Street on Sullivan's Island.
What do we know so far about these striking the children, these injuries, fatalities?
So a call came in at 12:48 this afternoon at the Sunrise Presbyterian Church. There's an after-school program there for a wreck involving multiple injuries. Officers arrived on scene and found 2 juveniles that were injured being hit by a vehicle, as well as an adult. 1 juvenile and 1 adult were transported to the hospital with injuries. 1 juvenile was treated at the scene and released to their parents.
You're letting people on and off the island still. Are they checking cars? Do they believe he's still on the island?
Yes, if you're coming onto the Sullivan's Island via the Ben Sawyer Causeway, so from Mount Pleasant on or off of Sullivan's Island via the Ben Sawyer Causeway, you will encounter a police checkpoint. They are just checking to make sure there's no suspect in the vehicle, making sure everybody's okay as this manhunt goes on. You will see officers from multiple agencies, not just Sullivan's Island or Isle of Palms. We have the Sheriff's Office, a list of law enforcement agencies from the area, so residents or visitors may encounter somebody wearing a different uniform. That's what's going on.
Are you continuing to get other agencies on the scene?
Yes, multiple agencies are responding as we speak. This is a very active scene.
Tell me about this shelter. What do you want residents to do, or people on the island right now?
Yeah. As I said, this is an armed individual. He was last seen with a knife, so do not encounter or engage the suspect. If you see anybody matching that description, please call 911 immediately, and officers will be en route and check the area.
And what's our latest update?
Latest update remains the same. Suspect is on foot in the area of Jasper and Middle was the last seen location near the Breach Inlet area where Sullivan's Island and Isle of Palms meet. Multiple officers are searching. We have canine teams, we have drones, we have officers on foot, so we have plenty of officers looking and checking in the area.
Anything else you want people to know?
At this time, just please report any suspicious sightings or any suspicious persons. The suspect may have changed their clothing, so anybody that's just suspicious or looks out of place, please call 911. We have plenty of officers in the area that can check that out.
Thank you so much, Sergeant. And we'll be checking in with the Sergeant again later. This is a developing story, and you can count on News 2 on Sullivan's Island. I'm Emma Charles. Count on 2.
All right, Emma, we know that you were just speaking with Sergeant Storin. If you're able to get him back, we have a couple of additional questions for him. Again, Emma Charles reporting from Sullivan's Island right now. We are going to allow her to get Sergeant Storin. He's been updating us on the very latest information. If you are just joining us, We are interrupting regular programming with continuing coverage of breaking news. A serious situation on Sullivan's Island, which has resulted in people on the island being told to shelter in place in an active pursuit for a person who is considered armed and dangerous. We've been listening to Sergeant Matt Storen with the Isle of Palms Police Department. We'd like to find out more about this situation and whether there might have been any kind of contact at all between the suspect in this case and those who were injured. Again, this is a situation that's also creating a lot of traffic problems. So we're going to go to Grace right now. Grace, we know that there are checkpoints in place, and this is creating gridlock on area roads, highways, and bridges.
Carolyn, you are right. Let's go ahead and give you a wider perspective right here where he was mentioning where those checkpoints are over the Ben Sawyer Boulevard Bridge. We have cameras lined up on this bridge, so I'm going to go ahead and go one by one to kind of zoom in and show you where those checkpoints are happening. Like they keep mentioning, this is kind of gridlocked, right? So even entering the island or trying to leave, you notice not a lot of activity leaving Sullivan's Island right now. Zooming up a bit further, right, even far back, you notice this is Ben Sawyer Boulevard once again. Cars slowly moving, and I'm beginning to see a bit more movement though here on the other side leaving the island. This is south of North Point Lane, and so I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a bit closer now to Sullivan's Island, getting you right there, and you see this is right there near station 22 and a half, actually, right as you get a bit closer towards Sullivan's Island. Gridlocked right now. They keep mentioning that yes, there are checkpoints there entering Sullivan's or leaving Sullivan's right now as well. And you notice this lane that's taking you out of Sullivan's Island, really quiet right there. If you're trying to enter Sullivan's Island right now, you notice it's going to take you a little while. As of right now, I'm going to go ahead and continue to keep you updated on this. Back to you, Carolyn.
Grace, thank you. And of course, we have team coverage right now. The very latest information as a result of 3 people being struck by someone who drove a car into a group of people on Sullivan's Island. This started at around noon. We are speaking live right now with Sergeant Matt Storen of the Isle of Palms Police Department. Emma, if you could relay a few questions that we have for Sergeant Storen. One of the things we are wondering, is there any indication as to whether those involved actually knew the suspect in any way?
Absolutely, Carolyn. First, we're going to hear an update from Storen. He just took a phone call while we were on Carolyn. And Grace, can you tell me what that update is?
Yeah, so what's going to happen now on the scene, they're developing quick response teams. They're going to be divided up into teams of officers, and they're going to go basically door to door, searching properties, trailers, anything open or unlocked that the suspect may have gained access to. So residents will see officers in small teams going door to door, conducting basically a grid search.
What do you want people to know if they come to their door? Just
cooperate, always have hands visible. If they know of any suspicious noises or anything, just be cooperative with the officers. It'll be very quick, and they'll move on to the next area.
Do we know if they'll be entering the residence or they'll just be talking to people?
No, they're just going to be talking to people. They're not going to make any entry.
Okay, thank you. Do we know if these people had any connection to each other, if the suspect had any connection to the victim?
No, that's we don't know that. It doesn't appear that way, but we can't confirm that. The investigation's going on. That's also taking place right now. There's investigators over there working through that right now.
Are they going to be going just in that area or throughout the entire island?
It's a grid search, so they're going to have grids that they search and check areas. So once they're done with that grid, they're going to move on to the next one until we find the suspect.
Thank you so much. Carolyn, did we have any other questions?
Yeah, if Sergeant Storen is able to present or give us an idea of what that scene was, where you described this scene as being near Sunrise Presbyterian Church, is this an adult and a child just leaving and this person just plows into them? Were there a group of people standing outside? Can he give us an idea, paint the scene from witnesses' perspective as to what happened at around noon today?
I know you don't have much time, but could you give us a description of that scene? Do we know if he just plowed into the children and the adult? Can you set the scene for us?
Yeah, the vehicle is a sedan. It's at a scene of a church preschool, basically, and it's off the roadway right up onto the building.
And do we know what happened for the incident? Are there cameras nearby? Have we spoken to witnesses?
Yeah, that's all part of the investigation. They're obviously going through that. We do have detectives talking to family members of the individual, of the suspect. So That's taking place right now, and there's a large law enforcement presence, multiple officers from multiple agencies conducting the search.
Absolutely. Do you want to say anything about that shelter in place? Should people lock their doors? Should they have barricades? How should people feel right now?
Yeah, please know that we have we have large law enforcement presence on the island. So if anybody sees anything suspicious, to just call 911. You have officers that will be there within seconds. So yes, lock your doors. You don't need to barricade yourself in there, but lock your doors. Just take precautions and just remain inside for us.
Carolyn, Sergeant Storen has to go, but do we have one more question for him?
No, we certainly appreciate Sergeant Storen's time. We know that he is working to get as much information as possible so that they can, in fact, bring this situation to resolution. So again, we appreciate his time. And again, just to bring you the very latest, if you are just joining us, we are following continuing coverage of a serious situation on Sullivan's Island. Authorities on the island issuing a shelter in place as they are actively in pursuit of a person who is armed and dangerous. They have confirmed that. You are looking live right now at Breach Inlet on Sullivan's, where dozens of units are on the scene. As you can see, officials tell News 2 that a person hit several people with a car, including at least 2 children and an adult. This happened near Sunrise Presbyterian Church. It all started at around noon. The driver of that car left the scene. He was driving a sedan. 2 children and an adult were hit. The adult and a child were taken to the hospital. We do not know their conditions. We are told that one child was treated on the scene and was able to be released. We now know that quick response teams are conducting a grid search, as they describe it, looking in people's yards, trailers, sheds. They may also come to homes. As you heard from Sergeant Storen, just be cooperative with law enforcement authorities. They will not actually go inside homes, but they do want you to at least respond to their request. The suspect was wearing a red shirt, dark colored shorts. He was armed with a knife he's described as a heavy-set white male, balding with facial hair. He was last seen on foot near Jasper Boulevard between Station 30 and 32. Again, authorities on Sullivan's Island have issued this shelter in place. Also, the approach to Sullivan's Breach Inlet, the bridge, the Ben Sawyer Bridge, also anticipate that you might be stopped as they work to look through cars as well to make sure that this person is not in any way still gaining access to the island on or off the island. There are law enforcement officers, drones also deployed in the area. People are being asked to be on high alert, not to approach the suspect, and to shelter in place. We advise you to stay with News 2 for the very latest information live as well as online at counton2.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later tonight.